Good night and welcome to Benalmádena's first English news broadcast. Digital Costa del Sol brings you every Friday all the information about this week's news. The Andalusian government published an order on their Gazette that collects the measures approved in the Interterritorial Health Council against COVID-19, measures that affect sectors such as night leisure, hospitality, restaurants and social health centers.
Junta de Andalucía published last weekend the order that enforces the measures approved in the National Health System Interterritorial Council to stop off COVID-19. Measures that affect several sectors such as nightlife, hotels and restaurants, mass events and social health centers. In addition, common guidelines are established in PCR screening in specific groups, as well as the consumption of tobacco on public roads. As for recreational establishments for adults and minors, their opening will not be authorized. Benalmádena's Mayor Víctor Navas stressed the issue this week.
Son normas mucho más restrictivas que lo que tratan es de contener.
They are much more restrictive norms which its goal is to contain the spread of the virus and the pandemic. We understand that they have taken them and put it into practice because the virus continues its spread. It continues to be transmitted. We live in a touristic municipality where many people visit us, and I have always appealed to the responsibility of our businessmen, our hoteliers, our citizens and our merchants, highlighting that keeping the virus at bay is everyone's responsibility.
Hospitality establishments may not exceed 75% of the maximum capacity for consumption indoors, except for special hospitality establishments with defined music, which may not exceed 60% of their capacity, and if they are exclusively dedicated to the consumption of beverage, they will not be authorized to open. Consumption can be done at the bar or sitting at a table with a minimum distance of 15 meters and a maximum occupancy of 10 people per table or group of tables. 1 a.m. is established as the maximum closing time without being able to admit new clients after 12. Mass events must have a risk assessment by the health authority. They will be able to carry out their activity until 1 a.m. maximum, including in set maximum schedule any other activity that is developed as a support or complement to the aforementioned events. Smoking won't be allowed on public roads or in outdoor spaces when a minimum interpersonal distance of at least 2 meters cannot be respected. This limitation will also apply to the use of any other device such as hookahs, electronic cigarettes or vaping.
Lo que está ocurriendo o estaba ocurriendo es que siempre hay un pequeño.
What was happening is that there is always a small percentage that doesn't comply with the rules. And in the end, nightlife has had to be regulated in some way, because as happened in Benalmádena with the Boa nightclub, it seems that in other places of Andalucía, outbreaks among young people were reproducing at a high speed.
In social and health matters, companies will have to assess the risk of exposure of their workers in each of the tasks they perform, always following the recommendations issued by the Occupational Risk Prevention Service. In any case, these workers who return from leave the vacations, as well as new workers who join the center, will have to have a PCR for COVID-19 with a negative result 72 hours in advance maximum. Family visits to residential centers will be allowed if the epidemiological situation does not indicate a restriction or suspension of the same, and with a maximum duration of 1 hour a day. On the other hand, in the event of an epidemic outbreak, and when so decided by the competent health authority in matters of public health, screening with PCR test will be carried out by the health services in those populations at risk and potentially exposed.
City Council continues with its effort to solve the lack of residential housing on the municipality and now presents a new aid that they expect will help solve this problem, rewarding residential rents over tourist type.
Benalmádena's Mayor Víctor Navas and the Councilman for General Administration Sergio Torralbo offered last week a press conference to talk about the incentives for residential rental that the City Council is going to launch to combat the lack of housing solution in long term in the municipality. With these grants, they seek to regulate residential rental, regarding it in opposition to tourism rental. In coastal towns, such as ours, where we depend on tourism, tourist rental has ended up becoming a phenomenon that causes prices to skyrocket, leaving families and people with a low salary with problems to access to decent housing. It is necessary the intervention of the local administration to try to regulate the market and try to mitigate the rise in prices that it causes a massive presence of tourist-type rental. Navas explained this new measure that is expected to help reduce this rise in prices.
Era importante poner en marcha esta ayuda.
It was important to launch this aid that we have been working on for a long time. And now, a few days ago, I saw how several councils are taking the same initiative. It's about regulating the residential rental versus the tourist rental. We are trying to set up an incentive that rewards those homeowners who use it for residential rental, as opposed to the tourist one. But it's also accompanied by a measure that has been applied this year, and that is that we have removed the subsidy for exemplary citizens from tourist rentals.
For his part, Torralbo has offered some details about it, such as the requirement to be registered in the municipality, as well as to have deposited the bond with the Junta de Andalucía.
El plazo se iniciará el próximo 24 de agosto y será hasta el 18
The period will begin on August 24 and will last until September 18. This subsidy is intended to encourage owners to use their homes for residential rental.
A grant with a budget of around 500,000 euros, which will be awarded in competitive concurrence. The mayor explained the parameters that will be taken into account for the scale and highlight that they present it with time until the opening of the deadline, so that everyone has time to prepare the documentation and announce a possible extension of it.
Para la baremación,
for the assessment, we will take into account the monthly rental price, if the owner only has one rental home or several, in which case it would be an economic activity and would have another treatment, as well as the antiquity of the homeowner in the municipal register. We are going to reward those who have been registered in Benalmádena for a long time, that their second home is available for residential rent, and that have an income within reasonable margins. The Spanish Association Against Cancer is transforming their traditional Mantón dinner to comply with the sanitary measures. This year they are inviting people to organize a dinner at home, send a picture that they will post on social media, and make a donation.
Health Councilman Juan Carrillo and the members of the Spanish Association Against Cancer in Benalmádena and Torremolinos, Luisa Jiménez, Alfredo Herrera and Jorge Rico present on Tuesday their traditional charity dinner, which this 2020 will be held online due to the restrictions imposed due to the pandemic. The councilman explained that the necessary health security measures against COVID-19 made impossible celebrating the traditional Mantón charity dinner in person, and it has now become an online event, a campaign to collect donations that will be held from August 15 to 30. It is turning out to be a strange year. For almost a decade, at the end of August, we have always celebrated the Mantón dinner, a beautiful charity event that had already become a classic on the calendar. Although the necessary preventive measures against COVID-19 force us to suspend dinner, we cannot do without the funds we collect at the event. The AECC needs more than ever the support of everyone during this health crisis, explained Jiménez, member of the Association Board of Directors. The AECC proposed to anyone interested in collaborating to organize a dinner at home with family and friends, share a photo with the association and make a donation. You can send your pictures to the email benalmadenaytorremolinos@aecc.es. And the AECC will share them all on their profiles on social networks on August 30. This new situation forces us to reinvent ourselves. The mass events are suspended for the moment, and we have to look for new formulas to obtain donations, said the treasurer, Jorge Rico, who indicated that it's not mandatory to share the photo to participate in the campaign. since the important thing is to obtain donations that help us reduce the high deficit accumulated in recent months. We need resources because the COVID-19 will end, but unfortunately the cancer will continue. The AECC's funding relays in the charity events it organizes and in the generosity of the citizens. During the months of the pandemic, they have not been able to organize fundraising events, but the services that the association has offered have been the same, so support is more necessary than ever, stressed Alfredo Herrera.
Sinatra, Elvis Presley or Queen, amongst other artists, will come back to life for a good cause next Saturday 29 on the Festival of Legends, a solidarity event in benefit of Cruz Roja.
Festivities Councilwoman Pilar Ramírez and Social Services Councilwoman Alicia Ladaga present this week the charity event Festival of Legends with the presence of the event organizer Alberto Cohen and his partner Chris King. An event that will begin on Saturday, August 29 at 9 p.m. in the auditorium of Parque de la Paloma, and that will have a solidarity spirit with part of the collection going to the Red Cross. Cohen, who was very happy to be able to organize this solidarity event, addressed the difficult situation that the music sector is experiencing and culture in general. It is a pleasure to organize this event at the Benalmádena Auditorium. It will commemorate the best music of all time, with tribute artists who honor great legends Frank Sinatra, the Beatles, Tina Turner, Neil Diamond, Queen, the Bee Gees, Bon Jovi and Elvis Presley, detailed the organizer. Ladaga highlighted the goal of the event, which is none other than helping the Red Cross, and emphasized the security of the event, which will comply with all hygienic sanitary measures. The provincial president of the Red Cross, Luis Utrilla, was also present at the press conference supporting the event. He thanked the organizers and the City Council for their support, but emphasized that more is needed, making a call for everyone to collaborate with the organization. Since the start of the state of alarm motivated by the COVID-19 pandemic, the Red Cross has assisted more than 35,000 people in the province of Málaga and more than 1,500 in Benalmádena to send them basic food, medicine and cover needs to the one that they did not arrive. Humble families that have been dragged into this situation, the President has detailed. Ramírez was the last to intervene, inviting neighbors and tourists to attend the event. I encourage everyone to collaborate with the Red Cross, which we thank for all their work. It is an opportunity to enjoy a beautiful concert and disconnect, said Ramírez. Tickets are priced at €20 and can now be purchased by calling the Benalmádena Red Cross. The show will last about 5 hours. They will open at 6 p.m. and the first concert will begin at 7 p.m. The organization will take all health security measures and Red Cross volunteers will ensure respect for social distance measures and the use of masks.
Private space, balls, clubs, and even a drink for only €6. That's the amazing offer that Benalmádena Golf is making to encourage people to discover this sport and enjoy a day on their facilities.
Sport Councilman Joaquín Villazón visited Benalmádena Golf facilities last week to hold a meeting with the managers of this golf school, a municipal facility where people of all ages can go to discover and practice this sport. Benalmádena brings together a wide variety of sports specialties for all audience, among which is golf. The City Council has always facilitated sports practice for all audiences, adding more activities to its catalogue year after year, said the councilman. Benalmádena's municipal golf course is looking forward to a new stage in its academy. José Javier Sevi Montes, a teacher who has spent more than a decade in Benalmádena Golf, has now associated with Javier Varela, who joins this project that already has with 15 years in operation. Varela, born in Arroyo de la Miel, is a sport coach, TPI and professional player. He has been in Madrid for 13 years producing audiovisual content for Canal Plus and Movistar Plus, in addition to accumulating experience in teaching and managing golf schools. I would like to see in Benalmádena Golf what I experienced for years in Madrid, a concept in which people of all kinds approach golf without prejudice and enjoy it at affordable prices. We have to continue breaking down that prejudice and communicate that golf is for everyone who wants to play it, Javier Varela pointed out. I know this place well and I want to make it even more popular and accessible. When I say that from €1 they can give some balls, I see the surprised faces. Sebi Montes highlight. The most immediate change have been the replacement of old balls with 10,000 premium practice balls. The upper floor has also been reopened with new racks on the tee line, each with a set of chill-out furniture to enjoy your drink and food while hitting your balls. We would love for people to understand the concept as a bowling alley. Renting your space for €6, a price that includes balls, a stick, and even a drink. All this in the open air in contact with nature and watching the sea. I think it is magical. Javier Varela has value. Night golf has also been reopened on the course, allowing practice until 11 p.m. For September, they are already working on the school for groups and collectives of the municipality, as well as on the golf in school program, so that all the children from the different educational centers can try the activity.
And these are today's headlines. Junta de Andalucía approved the measures of the Interterritorial Health Council. Benalmádena incentives residential housing. The AECC adapts their Mantón dinner to the new normality. Festival of Legends comes to Benalmádena. Villazón visits Benalmádena Golf. The weather forecast will leave us with slightly cloudy or clear skies, minimum temperatures unchanged or locally decreasing indoors, rising highs on the coast, more pronounced in the capital, Valle del Guadalhorce and the western end. Loose variable winds tending to the west component with southwest intervals on the coast in the afternoon. And that's all. Thank you for watching us, and remember, you can stay updated on our website or social media profiles on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night and enjoy the weekend.